Guys, I'm Quana and welcome to my new YouTube channel, HerReelReview Reads. On this channel, I will be pivoting away from only talking about on-screen literature, film, and television, and instead I'll be diving into the literature that inspires the creation of those projects. Fun fact, I am also an English literature teacher, so it's kind of combining my daytime job with my weekend hobby, I guess you could say. And so one of the things that I know is really popular in the BookTube community is to do a BookTube tag. So hey, welcome to my BookTube tag where I'm going to answer some popular questions and hopefully you guys can get to know me a bit better. Why I started this channel, one of the things that I love doing is reading, and I don't get a chance to spend as much time reading because I oftentimes spend more time watching television and films, and so I wanted to dive into reading a little bit more, and I also wanted to be able to talk about some of my favorite adaptations for some classic literature that's going to be coming out, and so this was a good opportunity to do that. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, I think one of those things is simply that I have been working kind of as a film critic for about at least a good solid 6 years now. And so kind of being able to think about film and what needs to go into film, and it's not always the same as what goes into a good book. And sometimes as readers we forget that there are constraints to adaptation, so I try to have like a very nuanced understanding to what wouldn't work in a film format and what wouldn't work in a book format. So hopefully I bring that to the community. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for the reading sprints, because one of my biggest issues is accountability and keeping myself accountable for sitting my booty in a chair and reading. So I'm looking forward to spending time reading live and being forced to sit down and read. I think that's going to do a lot for me, and hopefully by the end of all of this, if nothing else, I'll have 12 books a year that I will have managed to read because of this channel. So yeah. Why do you love reading? Escape. Life is hard. Books can either be harder or softer, but it's not real. So yeah, escape. What book or series got you into reading? Stephen King. I was reading Stephen King at way too young of an age, and quickly kind of became in love with like watching the movie and wanting to read the book because it helped me to read. And so it made things a little easier for me when I was first starting out, but it was wholly inappropriate. Like I was in the 3rd, 4th grade reading Stephen King. I don't recommend that for any kid. What questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? I have a couple of booktubers in mind, but I'm not going to say their names. But I feel like a lot of people are super cynical when it comes to reading. And I think like rating systems for books, I get that. I get the idea of rating systems for books, but I'm kind of the same way with movies where I'm like, there's high literature, art, classic, things like that, and then there's fun. And I don't think that we should view them through the same lens. I think I can give a fun book a 5, but understand that that 5 is not the same as like a classic literature 5. And that is one of my like biggest things, is like there's a lot of booktubers who are super cynical and they don't seem to like anything, and so it's a little disheartening. And I want to be encouraging to people who want to read and find like a hard barrier to entry. Couple of bonus questions. Favorite book by a Black author is probably The Color Purple. I really love The Color Purple as a book. I like the format of like the diary format of it, and it's one of those books that, and no matter what, like it's just lasting and it still resonates. It's Rapid fire book tag questions. Hardback or paperback? Paperback. I'm so sorry. I like to be able to carry my book with me and put it in my purse, and you cannot do that without hardback. Series or standalone? Series. I'm a sucker for a good universe. I like to dive in, and if I love the characters, I don't want to let them go right away. Sweet or spicy romance? Can we say spicy and sweet? Fiction or nonfiction? Fiction. Bookshop or online? Reading? Bookshop. but I don't have time often, so online. And annotate or pristine pages. If I'm gonna talk about it, I want to annotate it. But if it's not mine, obviously, like I'm a big proponent for like checking out books. So I just good old fashioned notebook. Yeah. All right. So those are some questions about me, and hopefully you can let me know some answers to some of those questions. I'll leave the list down below, and you can pick a couple of questions to respond to, so we can get to know each other better as we go on this journey. And I'll see you guys soon. Toodles.